Welcome everyone. Welcome to ServiceDesk Plus Masterclass 2022. I'm Steffi Benjamin here. I'm a part of the user educator team, and today we're going to see the 6 ways we can implement an effective incident management process in a hybrid work environment using ServiceDesk Plus. So as we all slowly returning to our work and to our normal life since that pandemic is thankfully receding by now, we see that hybrid work environments are the upcoming norm, and while they have its own benefits, they also come with a set of challenges. And today, we aim to cover in this session how you can use Service Desk Plus to tackle the IT issues that occur in hybrid work environments. In the agenda for this session is that we're going to see the 6 ways, right? So the 6 ways are we're going to see how you can be within the easy reach of your users at all times, and we'll see how Service Desk Plus will help you with it. We'll also see how you can capture every detail about incidents as and when they are reported. And we'll see how you can automate manual tasks and set up a standard resolution process which will guide the technicians as they resolve incidents. We'll also see how you can build a knowledge base and why you should build a knowledge base. And finally, we'll see how you can evaluate your performance as an help desk using the various analytical tools in Service Desk Plus. We'll see how having an effective incident management could make an impact in an organization. Take Zilker. So, Zilker is a software product company, and we will be using Zilker as a use case going forward in the presentation to understand how the features and functionalities in Service Desk Plus are implemented in a huge organization. So, post pandemic, like a lot of our companies or workplaces, Zilker has also adopted a hybrid work environment. So they have stated that their employees only visit the offices for essential trainings and meetings, while a majority of the workforce continues to connect remotely from various places across the globe. So, on a good day at Zilker, the IT helpdesk team suddenly find themselves thrown by with a set of challenges, and we'll see how they tackled it. So, first things first, the help desk in Zilker was extremely understaffed because a lot of technicians suddenly went on sick leave. So this is an understandable, and it was a frequent situation in a lot of companies during the COVID times. So when the help desk was understaffed, this was compounded by the fact that the help desk itself was spread in various remote locations. And on this time, the central servers in the office premises started overclocking, and nobody noticed that its server capacity has to be increased. Because all the technicians were busy firefighting the daily incidents. So this inevitably led to a server crash, and the users lost access to the files and application, causing an organization-wide business downtime. And the technicians are noticing this only after the users are suddenly flooding the help desk with complaints saying they are not able to access files, they're not able to access applications, and so on. So, because Zilker's IT team did not have a proper response strategy in place, it resulted in a prolonged business downtime that affected the company's profitability. So, what could have Zilker done to handle this better, or what does Zilker need to avoid situations like this? So, Zircon needed a systematic approach to help the IT teams be prepared for incidents or major incidents like this. No organization is ever immune to incidents, but with a proper response strategy, we'll be able to cut back the downtime and bounce back quicker. So we'll go through the 6 points of our session, and we'll see how they could have helped Zilker. And in fact, with these points, you can also reinforce your incident management strategy. So the first thing is Zilker needed to find a way to be within the easy reach of its end users at all times. And this can be done using Service Desk Plus, where you can set up a multi-channel incident logging system, so that even if one of your channels are down, or if they are suddenly clogged by a huge influx of people trying to reach you, then users will still be able to use the alternate channels and reach your help desk. So Service Desk Plus has a set of features that can help you with this. So we'll go into each feature in detail, and first we'll see from an end user's point of view how they can use the different channels to reach the help desk, and then we'll go to the admin's point of view and we'll see how they can set up the multiple channels. So going to an end user's login, this is the self-service portal that an end user sees when they log into the application. So let's consider for a moment that we are an employee at Zilker and that our name is Ruth. So Ruth is an employee at Zilker, and when she logs in, this is the screen she's seeing. And here you have multiple HTML widgets. This is completely set up by your administrator. So in one click, you can interact with the widget and raise an issue saying that you're not able to access your file server. So you're taken to an incident catalog where you can find the template that best matches your issue description, and you will be taken to the canvas where you can enter all the details about your issue and add the request. So once you add the request, you will be taken to the request details page that looks similar to the one on my screen, and you will be able to track your request from here. You can reply to technicians, you can add notes, and so on. So other than the self-service portal where you can use a template to raise an incident request, you can also use Zia on the footer. You can see it on the bottom right of the screen. So you can use Zia to Zia is an virtual conversation agent, and Zia can help you raise incidents in easy minimal click process. So using the red icon you're seeing, you can raise a ticket and you will be asked to enter the subject. So you can enter the subject saying, I lost my files, and Zia will immediately convert the issue into an incident request, and you'll be able to track it from your self-service portal as well. So if you do not want to converse with Zia, and if you're in a dire need for a technician to help you, you can use the Need Technician Assistance icon, and you will be immediately connected to the admin portal where any of the available technicians will be able to pick up your chat and converse. So let's go to an administrator's or a technician's login and see how they receive it. So this is the technician's login. So here you can see that a chat has opened, and you can pick it up and you can converse with your end user. And once you close it, you will be asked if you want to create an incident. So you can select the template relevant to their issue that your end user described, and you can close and create the request. So once you've done this, the request will be logged into your help desk, and where you'll be able to track it going forward. So these are the common ways. Other than this, we also have integration with third-party applications like Teams. So we're all familiar with Teams. We use it regularly to collaborate with our coworkers. So in Teams, you have the SDP chatbot that can be added to your Teams account. And from there, you can go to the chat tab and you can use simple slash commands to create requests. So immediately you will be asked to enter the subject and description. And once you add the subject and description, let's say I lost my files again. And once you create the request, the ID of the incident you created will be shown to you, and you will be able to track it once again from the ServiceDesk Plus login. Now, this is not only beneficial to end users, but even technicians can track their incidents from the request view tab. So here, all the incidents available in your help desk will be displayed. You will be able to assign them, you will be able to close them, but you cannot create incidents from this view. You can only create it from chat when it comes to Microsoft Teams. So, and lastly, we have the email to chat conversion method. So we are all very familiar with this. You send an email to your help desk and it is converted into a ticket. Now, for an end user, this is quite easy, but for an administrator, they need to set up the email conversion process from the ServiceDesk Plus admin login portal. So we'll now go into the administrator's login and see how it's done. So going to your administrator's login, this will be your admin tab where all the configurations related to ServiceDesk Plus are present. So here you can configure the mail service settings, and you'll be taken to a bunch of configurations. You can enter all your details, and you can add your help desk email addresses in this field and click save. So all incoming emails that are sent to the address you configure in this field will be fetched by ServiceDesk Plus, and based on the context, a request will be created. So other than emails, we also talked about self-service portal, right? For that, you can follow my cursor to the left side, the left pane of your screen, and you'll see that under general settings, we have advanced portal settings, where you can navigate to the customization tab and you can customize the self-service portal. So you can change the theme, you can add widgets, and so on. So once you set up the look and feel of your self-service portal, you can publish it and end users will be able to see uh, the way you set up your self-service portal. You can also configure Zia from the Zia section where you can set up the configurations that Zia can use. And in apps and add-ons, you can configure the live chat settings for your requesters and your technicians. You can also track the chats that are in your help desk, like the ongoing chats or the missed chats and so on. So other than this, we also have Teams, Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams will be present in the integration section, where in the third party tab, you can see Teams. You can click on settings and you can set up your Teams integration this way. So these are the various channels in which in which communication can be established between the help desk and the end users. So now that you have set up a multiple portal, what's the next thing you should do to have an effective incident management? The next thing is you need to make sure that you're capturing every detail about an incident when it is reported right away. So you can avoid going back and forth and trying to find out more details, and it will simply cut back a lot of time. So for this, Service Desk Plus once again has a set of features like templates, customizations, and so on. So we'll now go into the demo again from the admin's point of view, and we'll see how you can set it up. So going back to the admin tab, you will find incident templates under templates and forms. In the incident template, you can create a template from scratch. Right now, we have a list of templates already in place. When you create a template, you will be taken to a canvas that looks similar to the one you're looking on my screen. So you'll notice that the incident template has a set of hard-coded fields. So these fields cannot be removed from the template. Other than this, we also have predefined fields or default fields available in the left pane. You can simply drag and drop them in the canvas wherever you want them to appear. And you can also remove them if you do not need them. You can also add new fields using the add new field button here. So here you will be able to add sections, which is basically the grouping of fields you see in my screen. So this incident properties would be a section. You can also add different kinds of sections. You can add different kinds of fields based on your organization's needs. So you can see the way other fields like default fields present in the canvas like impact, level, service category, and so on. So these field values are not completely logged off, but you can once again configure them based on your organization's needs. So we'll see how it's done for a moment, and we'll come back to the template. So in your admin tab, you have a customizations block where in the help desk area, you'll be able to set up these request parameters. So you can set up the various categories. Categories refers to the topmost grouping of requests. So here you can set up subcategories and items and so on. So other than categories, you can also set up status. Status indicates the level of progress of a request from its creation to its completion. Then you can set up different levels of incidents that you probably receive a lot. So levels refer to the complexity of an incident. So if an incident has multiple layers of troubleshooting, it would be a level 4 incident. Then you have modes. Modes will help you decide the various ways in which a help desk approach your end users approach you. You have impacts to show the criticality of an incident. You can set up urgency to show how quickly you want the incident to be resolved. And then you have priority to show the importance. Priority is calculated from urgency and impact. And you can make sure that you set the priority of your incoming incidents correctly using priority matrix, because in a lot of cases end users might resort to updating all their issues as high priority to make sure they get moved along first, but this would be very confusing for the help desk technicians, right? So you can use priority matrix and you can configure that if your impact is low and your urgency is high, let the priority be normal and so on. So all the values you configure here, say request, different types of requests, you can configure different types of requests, task types, and workload types as well. So all the values you configure here will be reflected in the default fields you add into your template. So now that you've set your fields in, you can customize the sections and fields using different background colors, label placements, and so on. So this is only for the technicians. As you can notice, we're in the technician tab. So if you want your end users to be able to use this template, you should scroll down to the end of the template and you must enable show to requester. Once you enable this, end users will also be able to use this template. And you can limit the template's accessibility to specific support groups or specific user groups as well. So we'll scroll right back up and we'll go to the requested login, requested layout, where you can customize how you want your requesters also to view your template. This is similar to technician layout, where once again you drag and drop fields, you can set background colors and so on. So once you've decided how you want the layout to look for both your technicians and your requester, you can save and configure the workflow. So here in the workflow, you can decide how the resolution process of this template should be. You can configure approvals. You can add checklists to remind your technicians to complete a list of items as they resolve the incident. You can add tasks. So using tasks, you can break down the resolution process into doable little chunks and you can assign them to different users. So these users will be collaborating with the incident technician and they'll be resolving the issue fast. So using dependency, you can configure the order in which you want your task to be handled or completed. So once you've set up your workflow, you can configure field and form rules. So field and form rules are logical rules, and they update the incident request based on users' input. So you can apply field and form rules to an incident when the form is loaded. As in, when an end user clicks create new request and the template is loaded in their login, you can apply field and form rules right then. So here we've said when the form is loaded, let's hide a few fields. And then you can also apply field and form rules when a field value is changed as the template is being filled. And then you can also apply rules when the form is submitted. So here we have configured that if the work location is office, then if that condition is fulfilled, then let's apply the actions below where we say we want to show and mandate connection type field and hide a few other fields. So you can also configure other actions like enabling fields. You can set fields. You can clear field values. You can add. You can set tasks depending on a field value and so on. So let's go to the end users login and we'll see how field and form rules works in real time. So we'll go back to root, and as you can see, there is a field here for work location. If you select office, then connection type field instantly appears on the screen, right? Which was hidden earlier based on the form loading rule. And then if you select remote, then connection type field is hidden and the other field is turned on. So this way, you can fine tune the process in which you capture information from your end users. You can also add a dynamic nature to your incident templates and so on. So using all these features, you can fetch the maximum amount of information from your end users and you can proceed with the incident resolution process, which would take us to step 3, where we see how you can automate the resolution process using ServiceDesk Plus. So a majority of a technician's time is spent on mundane tasks and simple or repetitive tasks. So using ServiceDesk Plus, you can automate these tasks and allow the technicians to divide their attention on tasks that really need it. So let's see the various automation features in ServiceDesk Plus that will help you achieve this. So when it comes to automation in ServiceDesk Plus, uh, we have a set of features that will target different aspects of resolution. So first, we'll see business rules. So business rules is present in the admin tab again. And in the automation block, you can find business rules. Business rules will organize all your incoming requests and it will apply a set of rules to the incoming request based on various request criteria. So here we have so the rules are grouped under various rule groups. So the first rule here we have configured saying if a ticket is coming into your help desk, you want to check the scope of the ticket. So we have said you can execute business rules when a ticket is created or if it is edited or deleted. And you can choose to execute this rule anytime or within or outside the operational hours specifically. So we have set the criteria saying that if the following criteria is matched, then let's do a field update. You can also do other kind of actions like you can execute custom functions or execute your own scripts. So the highlight of business rules is that you can set a cascade execution. So by setting up cascade execution, you can streamline the rules to be applied one after the other to all incoming incidents. So now that you set up this incident, you have decided that once this if this rule is met, or even if it is not met, let's go to the next rule. In other cases, you might want to skip the remaining rules in a specific rule group, or you can skip all business rules and say just this one rule is enough. So going back, we have chosen execute next rule. The next rule says that if you get in any known incidents. So for example, Zilker had a file server issue, right? And they had a huge number of tickets come in, and they were all complaining the same thing. They all said that they were unable to access files and that they were unable to access applications. So now they would have a huge amount of incidents in their help desk, all saying the same thing over, unable to access files and application. So the technicians, on top of trying to resolve the issue happening, they are also forced to deal with an n number of issues, simply resolving and informing the end users, yes, we are aware, we are working on it. So you can automate this using ServiceDesk Plus as well, using business rules. So here we have said that if a specific template is used and the subject contains a few keywords, then let's abort the process execution and let's not apply any more rules. So when an end user creates a ticket that matches these criteria, then Service Desk Plus will immediately stop the process and notify them. So let's see how it's done. So going back, we have Ruth here. She's adding the, let's fill out the fields first, and then she's adding the request. And on submitting the request, you get a message saying this issue is already identified and we are currently working on it. So using business rules, you can literally streamline what incidents you want to enter your help desk. And when they enter, you can perform a variety of actions on them and ensure that all criteria is met, all the fields are filled, and so on. Now, the next aspect would be ensuring that once you have your incidents come into your help desk, you would need a technician to step in and carry the incident to completion. So for this, Service Desk Plus has Technician Auto Assign feature. In Technician Auto Assign, you can set up how you would like to assign incidents to your technicians automatically. So Service Desk Plus has two models. We have Round Robin, where all incoming incidents are equally shared to the available workforce, or you can use a load balancing model where incoming incidents are assigned to technicians based on the technician's workload. And then you can set more fine-tuned permissions. You can choose to assign to only online technicians. You can also include or exclude certain technicians. For example, I can choose to exclude my junior technicians because I may not want to end up accidentally assigning a complex incident to them. And similarly, you can also choose to include or exclude certain incidents itself from being auto assigned. Once again, if there is, let's say, a level 4 incident coming in, it might be very complex with several layers of troubleshooting. So I would prefer to assign it manually to an experienced technician. So I can exclude such incidents from being auto assigned. So you can save your settings, and once you have set it up, all incoming incidents will going forward will be assigned to technicians automatically. Now you have decided, let's have a technician in place. The next step would be time management is everything when it comes to incidents and issues. So we have service level agreements which will help you track the amount of time your technicians or the support groups are spending on resolving an incident. So we have a SLA in place already. So here I have decided that if the priority is high, then this SLA will be applied to that incident and it will be applied automatically. I don't have to select to apply it manually. And I have promised in this SLA to my end users saying that if this SLA is applied, then I will respond to them within 1 hour and I will resolve the incident within 1 day. And should I fail to meet this criteria, then the incident will be escalated to other technicians and they will be able to carry it. So I can choose to escalate it before the violation takes place or after the violation takes place. So this is completely customizable from the administrator's login. You can also choose to reassign the reassign the escalated incident to another technician. You can choose to update the priority as it is being reassigned and so on. Now, in some incidents, there might be multiple layers of troubleshooting. For example, in Zilka, they had a server issue, and so there might be multiple support groups working on that issue. In which case, I can configure operational level agreements to decide how much time each support group should spend on this incident. So if they end up violating the configured time, then the SLA violation will be flagged only to the support group that crossed the OLA time that I've set for them. So once you give save, you're all set with your SLA. And now we can go to the last aspect of automating the incident resolution process, which is closure rules. So closure rules will help you carry your resolved request to close state, because if even if you even if you manage your incident well, even if you ensure that technicians are handling it, you resolved it without violating an SLA, if you do not move your request to close status, you will still end up accidentally violating your SLA, and it can mess up with your KPIs. So using closure rules, you can decide how and when the request should be closed. So you can choose to mandate certain fields as the request moves to close state. You can ask your end users to acknowledge the resolution you provided. You can choose what happens with the associated and completed associated task and dependent task when a parent request is closed. You can choose to manually close the incident or automatically close it after a specified number of days. And once you give save, your closure rules are in place, and you have come to the end of seeing how you can automate all these simple tasks using ServiceDesk Plus. So technicians will be able to balance their workloads efficiently, and you can literally speed up the incident resolution process. The next step would be setting up a standardized incident resolution process. So using Service Desk Plus, you can visually guide your technicians when it comes to how to respond and resolve incidents. And you can do this automatically. You do not want to create huge documents. You do not want to constantly guide them. Service Desk Plus will do all the hard work for you. So let's see the various features and how they will help you standardize your resolution process. So first, we have request lifecycle. So request lifecycle is once again in the automation block. You can configure a lifecycle to document how you want your incidents to be handled when they enter your from the time they enter your help desk to the time they exit. So here we have so you can use new to create a lifecycle. You can add a name and description and decide what templates must be associated with this lifecycle. Once you give save, you will be taken to a canvas that looks similar to the one you're looking on my screen. So here we have, you can notice various statuses present. So this open, all these white boxes you see are statuses, and the green boxes are transitions. So statuses are configured in customizations block as we saw a while ago, and they will act like checkpoints for the incident. And within lifecycle, you can configure what should be done when an incident moves from one status to another, and what path must the technicians take. So here you can see that the life cycle is branching out and coming back in. So here we've configured this life cycle for file server issue, which is basically what Zilker was facing. So I've said that when my end user is coming and raising an request, it is created in the open status, and from then on I have branched out saying, if the user is on site, then let's assign the incident to a technician, or if they are in a remote location, then let's move it to on hold and perform a few more checks before we go back to taking the incident and resolving it. So let's go back to our request details page, and we'll see how these transitions are shown to a technician. So in the request details page, let's open an incident, and here you can see the transitions appear on the right pane of your details page. So here you can click the transition. So let's say I have an incident come in, I can click the right transition, and it will automatically be updated. The status will be updated as assigned, and based on the life cycle, the remaining transitions are shown. So going back to the life cycle, we've said the remaining transitions are the pathways. So other than the transitions shown on screen, technicians will not be able to perform any other progressing actions. So in each transition, you can set conditional checks to be performed before, during, or after. So in before, you can decide who must be able to even see this transition on the request details page, and what rules must the request meet in order for the transition to be shown. If any of these rules are not met, then the transition will not even be shown to the technician. They'll be forced to choose the only from the remaining transitions. And in the during stage, you can decide what action must be performed when the transition is selected by a technician. So let's say in this transition, so if I'm saying that if my end user is in a remote location, let's put the request on hold. And here we're performing a checks to see if the user is on a secure network. So in this place, let's say the user is connected, then I've said let's mandate technician field to make sure a technician is handling it. And let's do a field update for network security. And once this is done, it will automatically move to in progress state. In the after in the after tab, I can configure rules to be performed when a request moves to the next stage, and these rules will be applied immediately after it moves. So if the user is not in a secure network, then I have said the request should move to a cancel state. And if I select transition in the request details page, then the request will be updated as cancelled, and immediately the following action will be executed, where a notification is sent to the end user. So in you can configure different actions like you can execute custom functions, you can use webhooks, you can execute scripts, and so on. So this is how a request lifecycle works. Instead of setting up different documents saying what should be done when a user is on site or what should be done when a user is remote, you can use Service Desk Plus to configure lifecycle, and Service Desk Plus will guide your technicians through various checkpoints. So other than request lifecycle, we also have preventive maintenance tasks. So if you remember us, this is majorly what affected Zilker. They did not have a preventive maintenance task where they could have set up they could have set up and checked the server before it crashed. So here we have a preventive maintenance task in place. Using preventive maintenance task, you can fetch the incident templates in your help desk. And you can create a preventive maintenance task with any of these templates. So if you create, you can also create new templates specific to maintenance tasks, and they will be reflected here. So once here you can set all the details for this task, and you can add task. You can add task to the template. You can add checklists, and they will all be reflected here. And then you can schedule this task to be executed on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, monthly basis, and so on. At the specific time you set, a request will be generated and assigned to the technician whom you've configured in the preventive maintenance task template. And this technician will be reminded to perform the maintenance check, and and then everything is smooth from there, right? So Zilker will no longer have periodic server crashes. They'll have someone checking on it. So even if they're understaffed, even if they are busy, Service Desk Plus will schedule this, and and then you'll have a way of tracking all this maintenance task as well. So the next step would be delegating your incoming incidents and setting up notification rules. So you can go to the home tab, where you can, in the scheduler tab, you will be able to view the days you are unavailable or the days you are available. So you can also view the schedules for other technicians as well. So if a technician is unavailable, you can configure backup technicians to delegate all incoming tasks to the unavailable technician, and these delegated tasks will move to the backup technicians automatically. So you can view the backup technicians from the backup technicians chart. You can see that who are all configured as a backup technician for which unavailable technician from here. You can also track the availability of all your technicians from your tech availability chart. So, and then you can go to setup tab again, to the admin tab, I'm sorry. And in the admin tab, you can set up notification rules, which is a way of communicating with your end users and acknowledging them when a request is received and so on. Because in a lot of cases, end users raise a request and then they call the help desk immediately and go, have you received my request? Is someone handling it? And so on. So using notifications, you can send appropriate notifications at the right time. You can customize the layout of the notification using customized template link. And you can also send notifications to your technicians to update them of the various happenings within the incidents. And the notifications, you can access them using the bell icon on the header menu. So this way you can set up a standardized process for resolving your all your incoming incidents. You can ensure that tickets do not fall through any cracks, and even inexperienced technicians can resolve incidents without any help this way. So once you set up a standardized process, the next thing to do would be to build a knowledge repository for your service desk. So in a lot of cases, we might have repetitive incidents, and in each case, technicians of sometimes they are not even aware that this incident has happened, and they are like troubleshooting right from start all over again. So you can use a knowledge base to record the solutions of various incidents. So when an incident comes in, technicians can check out the knowledge base, and if it's an existing issue with a solution, they can cut back the troubleshooting time and instantly provide solutions. This way, you can deflect L1 tickets like a pro. So going back to the demo, you can find all your solutions in the Solutions tab. You'll be able to create new solutions. You can approve, reject solutions. You can even delete solutions and so on. So this is not the only way to create solutions. You can also create solutions from requests where let's say you have an incident come in and you figure out what the resolution is. You can go to the details page of that request and you will be able to add a solution from the resolution tab. So in the resolution tab, you can enter your solution, and once you give save and add to solutions, you will be automatically taken to the solution form where you can add different types of content. You can add images, videos, you can add attachments. You can choose a topic this solution to be present under. So you can also add topics using the gear icon on the left pane. And then you can add keywords to help your end users and your technicians find the solutions faster. You can also add review dates and expiry dates for your solutions. And finally, you can choose if you want to publish the solution to the self-service portal so that end users will also be able to access the solution. You can choose to limit it to specific user groups as well. Remember that if you need to add and approve the solution for end users to be able to see the published solutions. So once you added your solution, um, you can see that in the resolution tab. So in the solutions tab, you can see some solutions are being suggested for this incident. This is because of the keywords you add in solutions. So if your keywords match in with future incidents, then ServiceDesk Plus will immediately suggest the solutions to the technician when they check out the resolution tab. You can also see the tried solutions, that are solutions you tried but did not exactly resolve the incident. So, so remember when I said that your end users can also benefit from this knowledge base? When an end user raises a ticket and they add the request, okay, I'm sorry, let's create a new request. And when an end user adds the request, then Service Desk Plus will immediately suggest that they have a few suggestions in place. So here you can see that there is an announcement where they say, this is the issue. We also have other solutions that match the description of this incident. So using this, they can troubleshoot themselves and literally service their own issues without even approaching the help desk. So this is how solutions can help you deflect level 1 tickets. You can gradually build a solution base using Service Desk Plus as your tickets come in, and this will hugely benefit both your technicians and your end users. So finally, we have analytical tools that will help you evaluate your performance in Service Desk Plus. So you can check out how your help desk team is resolving your requests by measuring their performance using various functions and features. So let's go back to the demo to check them out. So in the application, you have Reports tab where you can see all your where we have like 180 plus scanned reports. So these are grouped under various folders. So you can click on any of this. So let's say I want to check out all the incidents in my help desk that have violated the SLA based on priority. In one click, I'll be able to see the report generated, and I can share this report with my other technicians. I can schedule the report to be generated every now and then so I can track this metric and so on. You can also create new custom reports like tabular reports, matrix reports, and audit reports, and so on. And other than this, you can also use queries to fetch different data from your help desk and generate reports on that. Reports provide you a way to measure your help desk at that point in time. You also use dashboard to get a live bird's eye view of your entire service desk in one place. So you have multiple widgets present in your dashboard where you can track different kinds of metrics. So if you do not want this graph, if you think the graph view is not conveying the details properly, you can update it into a different view where you will be able to handle it better. So here you have different widgets present. So you can create new dashboard and widget using the new button here. You can also, when you create a new dashboard, you can decide if you want it to be private just for yourself, or you can also share it with specific users in your organizations. So while reports and dashboards help you check the overall performance of your help desk, you can use time analysis to check out the performance of a technician or a support group within each request. So let's go to a request, and here we have the time analysis tab present. So you can see that this particular request has spent 11 hours in the open status and some 31 minutes being in progress, and it took 3 hours for the status to move from in progress to resolved. Sorry, from in progress it's moved to resolved, and it stayed there for 3 hours and 58 minutes. You can also similarly check out the amount of time it spent with various support groups, with various technicians, and so on. You can also track your as if SLA was violated, you can also track it from the time analysis tab. And this way you'll be able to analyze the time your technicians and your support groups spend on the incidents, and you will be able to set realistic SLAs based on this data. So, other than time analysis, you can also set up surveys to get personalized responses from your end users. While time analysis reports and dashboards help you check out your technician's performance from various parts in your help desk, you can get personalized responses if you set up a survey to be sent when an incident is closed. So, in admin, you have survey configuration. Here, you can create a survey, and you can add different types of questions to your survey. You can choose when the survey should be sent. If you wanted to send for every one incident, but it would not be ideal because your end users or your employees might be agitated on having to fill a survey every now and then. So you may choose to send it once every 10 incident request is closed. And you can also choose the criteria for which this survey should be sent. So you can choose to send the survey only when the level is level 3. So you can set up different surveys this way for different kinds of requests and request parameters. So here we already have a survey created. You can preview it and you will see how it will appear for your end users. So once you close a request, they'll get a mail asking them to rate your experience using various scales, and they can add their more comments. So based on the responses, you can also generate reports that you can view from the reports tab within the survey. You can also generate reports in the reports tab, but those are very predefined. Here you will be able to view the reports in a much more customized way. That's it. We've come to the end. Let's do a short recap. We have seen how you can set up ServiceDesk Plus to be available to your help desk across multiple channels. We saw how you can record information accurately using different features so that you will be able to resolve your incidents quicker and avoid the back and forth conversation. We saw how you can set up automation and standardization processes so that you can hasten the resolution process once you've captured all the data about your incidents. We then saw how you can deflect tickets and improve productivity using solutions. And then we saw finally how you can use the analytical tools to make business decisions based on your service desk performance. I hope you've been using these features so far. If you have not been using these features, then I hope you'll be able to use them hereafter. We have a few resources as well. You can check out our admin guides, our product videos. You can communicate with other users from the community forums we have, and you can always send us a mail, and you can access the support portal as well. So we'll end this session now. I hope you all have a good day. Thank you.